That's right. It is time yet again to predict the 2023 Dallas Cowboys schedule using facts and logic. This video was a huge hit last year. Got a couple of things right actually. Predicted the Thanksgiving game correctly. Was just a few games, like a week or two off on a couple of them. Real tight stuff. So, and what I'm going to try to explain to y'all is some of the patterns you always see in the Cowboys schedule that help you predict things out. So here is our setup for this year: 8 home games, 9 road games. Things I always put in here: you're always going to have a Monday night game, you're definitely going to have a Thursday night game, and the Cowboys, as far as I know, will always have 3 Sunday night football games on the schedule. They have since it started on NBC. So let's get started right with it like we did last year with Thanksgiving. It is a 50-50 toss-up this year who they are going to play on Thanksgiving, as long as the NFL follows the pattern they have of an NFC team and then an AFC team off and on. The Cowboys only host 2 AFC teams this year, the Patriots and the Jets. I've been holding off on making this prediction, hoping to find out who the quarterback of the Jets is going to be. But I can't hold off anymore. They're going to start announcing schedule probably this week with the draft, starting to give some things away, and I wanted this to be completely spoiler free. I didn't want any hints to help concoct this schedule. So they have to put this schedule together too, not knowing if Aaron Rodgers is going to be in green and white. Cowboys, Patriots, man, that would be such a huge hit as well. If they end up going with this right here and Aaron Rodgers is not there, that could be a problem. Then it's just a dull matchup. Cowboys, Patriots is going to bring in the ratings. In the last 2 years of Thanksgiving football for the Cowboys has shattered NFL ratings. I'm also very biased. I am going to go the Patriots, but not for the reason you are thinking. I want throwbacks. I want those gorgeous Cowboys throwbacks versus Patriots throwbacks. Is that a ridiculous thing to pick a game based on? Yes, but that is what I'm going with. A beautiful throwback matchup. Then last year I had said that this was going to be almost always a Thursday night football game. I ended up being wrong because they were able to put the Cowboys on Thursday night because of a later in the year Saturday game on Christmas Eve against the Eagles. That could theoretically happen again. I don't see it happening, so I do see this as their Thursday night football game. They have changed the rules to where teams can play more than one game with less than 4 days rest, but I hope they don't exploit that too often. The hint you're going to have here is they will always play a team on week 13, assuming it's a Thursday night game, against a team who played on Thanksgiving as well. The Lions obviously always play on Thanksgiving. The only opponent that the Lions host that the Cowboys also play are the Panthers. So there's 2 hints of where it could be. Obviously, you have the Sunday night game as well. I'm going to go fresh, though. I'm going to go right with it. I'm going to say that the 2 Thanksgiving staples are going to play each other the next week. So there's how you start filling it out a little bit. Week 1. This is going to be a big one. And I'm saying they're going to send the Cowboys to Philadelphia Sunday night football. I mean, the Cowboys on Sunday night football is just automatic. Week 1, it feels like at this point. Last year, we did not get a Dak Jalen Hurts game. The year before, we only got one Dak Jalen Hurts game. The year before that, we got none of them because Jalen Hurts took over after Dak was already out and injured. That's what I'm going with right there. Because the NFL, that's going to be a blockbuster matchup. It's going to be so huge early on, and they don't want to mess around and end up missing out because it's 2 guys who have the propensity to be injured, as we've seen. So I'm calling Cowboys at Eagles Sunday night football week 1. Week 2, I'm going to say that they keep the Cowboys on the road to start the season. Get this off-rock AFC game out of the way at the Chargers. They do this a lot to the Cowboys, make them play on the road to start the year twice. One thing, let's jump around the schedule a bit because why not? I am going to say that the last game of the year is going to be Cowboys hosting the Giants. Now, why am I going with that? What is my logic behind that? Well, the Cowboys have been on the road the final week of the season 6 out of the last 7 seasons. It's ridiculous how much they've made them close on the road. They hopefully make them close at home this year. They haven't played the Giants in that last game in a couple of years, so I'm going to say that they go Cowboys at home with the Giants. They seem to kind of rotate through all of that. All right, let's go back to the beginning now. Week 3, let's say the Cowboys open with the Rams. That's going to be a nice matchup. Put the two LA teams back to back. Cowboys, even though they get a late home opener, they get it against a big opponent with the LA Rams. How's this for our next Monday night matchup? The Cowboys and Commanders, they've got to make this rivalry start happening again now. Now that Dan Snyder is out of the picture, let's throw it old school. Let's make that the Monday night football game. They've been putting the Cowboys pretty early on Monday night, more and more recently. So let's make that their Monday night game. They're probably their lone Monday night game of the season. It's a weird setup because they have to play on the road so many times this year with those 9 road games. It makes it kind of complicated to figure out how it's all going to fall into place. Because of that, they're going to have to play a very road-heavy schedule no matter what. You're going to have one extra, so I'm going to throw them a Cardinals game on week 5 and a Panthers game on week 6. It feels like in that middle section of the season, they end up putting some weird off rocks for the Cowboys to play. We got the Bears and Lions last year right around here. Week 7, I'm saying it's the Cowboys bye week. They've gotten pretty fortunate with their byes. A little bit less fortunate this year, I think, with a week 7 bye week. Week 8, that's where I say I think we're going to get the Jets and maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yeah, we can get rid of this Patriots one right here since we've slipped in the other logo. Bye, Patriots. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it just in case that is a huge matchup. And if it's not, well, they haven't really lost anything. Week 9 is a perfect time for a huge NFC showdown. Playoff picture is coming together. This is going to be such a huge grudge match. I think you're going to get Cowboys at 49ers right there, week 9. You want plenty of stuff already put together at that point. That's going to be great, and we're going to say that is going to be a Sunday night football game. They're not going to be able to resist putting this one on Sunday night football. I don't think it's just going to be such a huge matchup. So week 9, Sunday night football, under the lights, Cowboys at 49ers. Week 10, we need another division game in here. Let's say they get the Commanders out of the way early this year. If you notice, I'm putting the Giants later this year. I think the days of the Cowboys-Giants always opening in September are getting behind us. So I'm going to have 2 December matchups for the Cowboys and Giants. You'll see why. I think the NFL likes themes sometimes. Week 11, how about a little bit of a difficult one going into Thanksgiving? The NFL always likes to put a little bit of challenge for the Cowboys, but I'm going to say they let them stay home this year. They have not been able to do that in forever. Week 11, we're going to say it is going to be the Seahawks. They made the playoffs last year. Can they make it back? I guess they actually, were at one point a better-looking team than they finished, so I think they give them a little bit of a challenge there. So they do have 3 home games right in a row. Week 14 coming out of that last game in what I'm going to call their doubleheader on Thursday, their 2 Thursday games, going to send them up to New York. And they're not just going to do it once. They're going to do it twice, sending them up to Buffalo in back-to-back weeks. I feel like a lot of times we end up seeing those weird double dips, either 2 straight in LA or going up to New York twice. It's going to be a cold, cold December for the Cowboys. But then they get to come home for a Eagles game on week 16. They want that one late. They're going to put one early, I think, week one for a great kickoff, but then they want one late. They want one that could be a deciding factor. And they've been putting some weird games late in the season. I think we're going to get a nice warm December trip. This might actually be January by then. So I've got one Sunday night football game left. And this is what I think they're going to do. I hadn't written down. I had written down everything else. I had not written down my picks for the channels. I was waiting until I could do that live. This, I think, might be their compromise with how they're going to make this work, because I have them 2 on the road right now. I've got to make sure this is all correct. You know, I'm going to nail this 100%, y'all. Don't even question it. All right, so where am I going to put this last Sunday night football game? Because you know they're going to have one at home, and you know they're going to have 3. I put myself into a bit of a corner here. All right, I'm gonna wing it last second here. You're watching this live because I don't think they would put the Cowboys back-to-back weeks on Sunday Night Football. I'm having to think on the fly here. This is what I get for prepping everything else except the channels. I should have done this. I'm moving the Jets to week 7, bye week of week 8, and that Sunday Night Football game against the Jets, in case it's Aaron Rodgers. If it's not, it's still national audience, New York versus Dallas. And if they do get Aaron Rodgers, then, which it still seems like they're going to, but man, it's going so slow. So I'm not sure if we've ever seen a Sunday night game by Sunday night game, but why not? Honestly, more of this is about trying to get the most correct rather than all of them correct. It's like picking a bracket. You have to more focus on getting individual things correct, the most you can correct, than getting every last thing correct. So, recapping. On the road against the Eagles opening, that's one I feel confident about. I feel very confident about this week 1 right here. This is a 50-50 toss-up. I think I like the way the schedule kind of flows. It's always weird now with the odd number of games, how it's all supposed to work out. So I like the way this flows. I think this is going to give the NFL what they want. With the Cowboys, you always can kind of go with the idea that ratings do matter. I mean, ratings are all that matters to the NFL to some degree. Ratings do matter. And so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going with this right here. 100% correct? Probably not. But I feel pretty confident about some of these, where they're going to land. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you all for watching this video last year. It blew up real big, so that's the only reason I'm back here doing it again. And like I said, I nailed Thanksgiving last year. So if I can nail Thanksgiving again, at least as long as I'm the Thanksgiving predictor. It's easy this year, though. Coin flip. So if I'm wrong, then I really blew it. So thanks so much for checking this out. Again, leave a comment below on what you think of some of these things. Point out any areas you think I'm just dead wrong in. Let me know what you think. And I will see you guys next time.